Slick Rick, but Marcellus got to go to you first. Have the Lakers shut that door on the Rockets?
Oh, man, it looks that way. The family is in the room, hugged up. The patient's on life support. Sorry, Rockets. And they looking at that plug. They're about to pull it on you guys because I don't know what's happening in the fourth quarter. The Rockets have been up in each of these 3 fourth quarters, and then they find themselves losing 2 of these 3 fourth quarters. And that's not the way it's supposed to work, especially when you're playing small ball. The Lakers last night went on that 17-5 run to start the fourth quarter, and it was lights out. And it came from weird places, like Rondo hitting 3-pointers, Caruso stepping up in the moment. And you start to realize, if the Lakers are going to keep playing eeny, meeny, miny, mo with their others in terms of stepping up outside of their dynamic duo, it's going to be curtains on the Rockets. They got to figure out a way to stop those others.
Marcellus, in English 11, I had to take vocabulary quizzes and vocabulary tests, and you have to learn a ton of words. Yeah. And I learned one word, Marcellus, I never thought I would use, and that word is ajar. A-J-A-R, ajar. It means a door that's left slightly open. You see, the Lakers have left this door ajar. It's not completely shut, but they about to shut it. I said the Lakers would win in 5. I now think the Lakers will likely win in 6. The Lakers are going to win, but the Lakers are getting bloodied up and bludgeoned a little bit while doing so. Remember, AD and LeBron, they've combined for 60 points 15 times on the season. They've had to do it twice, the last 2 games, again, if I'm not mistaken, to get these dubs. And even while they're getting these dubs, early on, like, it's not as if the Lakers are winning handedly. You're kind of concerned for the first 3.5 quarters, and then late in that game, you're like, okay, the Lakers are pulling away. I do think the Lakers are going to shut the door eventually, but I don't think the door is shut just yet. The Rockets have shown us this. They can be trailing by 15, 20 points and come back in a flash. If we're being real, it's not as if the Rockets have played a great game either of the last 2 games. You could argue they played a terrible game 2, and the Lakers have still played at a very high level, at a very high clip. So I don't think the door is shut yet. They will shut it, but right now it's still left ajar.
Acho, I got to tell you, you are like LeBron on this show today, and Marcellus is Giannis Antetokounmpo, and that he has maybe the MVP titles,
MVP twice.
And yet we know who the real MVP is or is performing like one, and that has been you, my friend, when it comes to the NBA. You're 100% right. I don't have a whole lot of confidence that the Rockets are going to pull this off, but there is still an opening. The door is not shut, and it largely resides because the difference maker, the guy stepping up, has been Rajon Rondo. No one's plus-minus has been more tied to wins and losses other than LeBron than Rajon Rondo. And there's a question there about whether Rajon Rondo can stay healthy. Let's keep in mind, he missed games because of a back that tightened up. He missed games because of a broken thumb. And if you look at his recent history in the postseason, he has a tendency to break down if those postseason runs last any bit of time. So the possibility that Rajon Rondo could have another physical setback, and if he does, that changes the equation. I can tell you this, the Lakers are not up 2-1 in this series if Rajon Rondo is not a plus 35 in the last 2 games. So it's going to take the loss of a Rajon Rondo in order for this to turn, but history tells us that is a possibility.
Yeah, but the issue is, like last night, we see Harden goes for 33, Russ goes for 30, and that's their formula, but you're seeing the Lakers have this carousel with the other players outside of AD and LeBron step up with a consistent element being Rajon Rondo. I said the same things you guys said it. I just said it in picture form in terms of the family all hugged up looking at the Rockets on life support. And I think that the Lakers are ready to pull the plug. Think about it. Lakers go out there and have a repeat performance. Even if they're going into the fourth quarter, now they have this extra layer of confidence they didn't have even coming into this series. The question mark for the Lakers coming into the series was, what is AD going to do in the fourth quarter? What are the Lakers going to do in the fourth quarter? It seems like they've been able to answer that and also solve other issues. And that's why I say that this team right now is on life support. Are you going to get more out of Westbrook? Are you going to get more out of Harden? Are you going to get more out of your others? And even if you do, it seems like the Lakers' others are ready to step up and rise to the occasion.
My concern, Marcellus, and again, I told y'all I'm a pessimist, so as a Lakers fan, my concern is this. Game 2, when the Lakers were already down 1-0, they had to make a comeback. LeBron and AD, they combined for 62 points, and then Rondo's plus 28. So it was like, man. And then, mind you, Morris also had 12 points in 3 minutes. So you're wondering, okay, can the Lakers do this again? All right, Game 3, LeBron and AD combined for 62 points. Now, Rondo's not necessarily plus 28, but he gives you 21 points. Rondo hits several threes. So you're wondering, can the Lakers really do this again? I think this series for me has really been, okay, can the Lakers keep doing this? Because their formula is a little atypical. Howard's getting no burn. McGee getting no quality burn. AD and LeBron, are they going to have to continue to combine for 60 points just to get out the semis? If they do, you're still going to run into them dogs more than likely in the clip. It's just, I'm a little concerned. Yes, they'll shut it, but in shutting it, it's going to take a little bit of luck, a little bit of convenience, or LeBron and AD just giving everything they have night in and night out.
Lose a chunk of flesh in the process, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the question is can the Lakers maintain this form? And the Rockets, are they going to continue this way? If so, it defies what they were during the regular season. The Rockets got a greater percentage from free throws than they are in this series. They were better than the Lakers in that department, and they were much better. They were number 1 in the league when it came to three-pointers made per game. The Lakers have been able to balance that out and in some cases beat them in those categories. They weren't able to during the regular season. If things go back to form, the Rockets do have a shot.
Yeah, second only to my Clippers in terms of getting to that free throw line. They need to do it. They need those free points against this dynamic duo.